I don't know, I don't care, but it would be good marketing for you to know and for you to say it. Lean on the benefits of going natural, and you'll win this market.
Whoa, hold on. Did he just say he doesn't care if the science is real as long as it sells pomade?
Exactly. We're starting strong today, Lisa. That's Ryan Daniel Moran basically telling us to cast stones at chemicals we don't understand to build a seven-figure brand.
This is going to be a fun one. Pour me another.
Hustle Happy Hour!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Hustle Happy Hour. This is the podcast where two friends sit down, grab a drink, and react to videos from the internet's favorite entrepreneurship gurus.
We're not here to hate, and we're definitely not here to worship. We break down what actually makes sense, what's overhyped, and what might get you into trouble if you follow it blindly.
If you've ever watched a guru and thought, wait, is that really true? You're in the right place.
So pour a drink, pull up a seat, and let's get into today's hustle. Usually we are right here, in the present, trying to make sense of the news cycle or dissecting a trend that's already halfway over.
Yeah, that's our usual territory.
But today, we are doing something completely different. We are setting the time circuits for the future. Specifically, we are looking at the landscape of 2026.
That's right. And to be clear, this isn't science fiction. We aren't talking about flying cars or colonies on Mars.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet, no. We are taking a very rigorous, strategic look at a specific forecast put together by Ryan Daniel Moran.
Right. And for anyone who doesn't know the name, Moran is the author of 12 Months to 1 Million. He's an investor, an entrepreneur, and honestly, he's kind of the architect for a specific type of business building.
He really is.
He's the guy you listen to when you want to build a brand that you can actually sell, not just a side hustle that, buys you a few extra pizzas.
Exactly. And that distinction is vital for everything we are going to discuss today. Moran has released a forecast of 7 specific business landscapes, 7 specific customer bases that he predicts are going to absolutely explode by 2026.
Okay.
But the mission here and the lens you need to look through is one of high stakes.
Yeah, let's set the stakes early because this is important. We aren't talking about starting a blog. We aren't talking about drop shipping cheap plastic widgets from AliExpress.
No, we are talking about brand plays. The objective with every single one of these 7 ideas is to build a company that hits $1 million in revenue within 12 months.
That's the floor.
That is the baseline. The ultimate goal is to build an asset, something with real equity value that can be sold for an 8-figure exit or attract serious private equity capital.
I love that. We aren't here to play small. We are here to talk about empire building.
That's the frame.
But before we get into the list, and the list is wild, by the way. We've got everything from hormones to Pop-Tarts. We need to talk about the rules of engagement because Moran says there is a golden rule for business in 2026. And if you try to build a business the way we did in, say, 2015, you're just going to get crushed.
It is a fundamental inversion of the old school model. The traditional advice, the stuff you learn in Business 101, is usually build a better mousetrap.
Right. Start with the product.
Start with the product. Innovate the widget. Then go find someone to buy it. Moran argues that in 2026, that is the anti-strategy.
The anti-strategy. So if we aren't starting with the product, where do we start?
You start with the person. The golden rule is a high-margin product marketed to a very specific group of people.
Okay.
You have to identify the who before you even think about the what.
Let's unpack that because it sounds simple, but I think the implications are pretty deep.
Right.
Why is starting with the product so dangerous now? What's changed?
Well, it's commoditization. Just look at Amazon. Look at Temu. Look at global manufacturing. If you start with a product, say, I want to sell a yoga mat, you are immediately entering a war on features and price.
And someone will always be cheaper.
Always. And in the 2026 landscape, competing on price is a death sentence. You cannot out-cheap a factory in Shenzhen. You cannot out-distribute Amazon Basics. It's a losing game from day one.
So if you can't compete on price, you have to compete on something else.
You compete on identity. You compete on solving a specific problem for a specific human being. The goal is to be premium. You want to be expensive.
You want to be expensive.
You want high margins.
And high margins are what allow you to actually market the thing, right? Because ads aren't getting any cheaper.
Precisely. That's the engine. You need the cash flow to acquire customers. And you can only charge a premium price if the customer feels like you built this specifically for them.
Okay, give me that coffee example again.
Right. It's the difference between selling coffee for $10 a bag, which is a commodity,
Just another bag on the shelf.
versus selling low-acid, mold-free nootropic coffee for tired dads for $40 a bag. The commodity, the bean itself, is basically the same. But the tired dad who's worried about mold and wants to focus, changes the value proposition entirely.
And that dad will pay $40.
He'll pay it gladly because you're not selling coffee. You're selling him a solution to his morning fog.
Okay, so who before what? Keeping that philosophy in mind, let's dive into section 1. I'm calling this the overlooked health majorities. And honestly, this first idea, it feels like such a massive blind spot that I can't believe it's still an opportunity.
It's astounding, really. You're talking about business idea number 1, perimenopause and menopause support.
It seems absurd that we even have to call this an opportunity. I mean, we are talking about 50% of the population.
We are. But you have to look at where the venture capital money and the startup energy went over the last decade. Think about the health optimization boom. Who was it for?
Oh, it was for the bros. It was low T centers on every corner. It was testosterone replacement therapy. It was Hims. It was biohacking to make 30-year-old coders feel like Spartans.
Exactly. We spent billions of dollars optimizing men. Men's health became this huge aspirational category.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, women's hormonal health, specifically for that 40-plus demographic, was treated as, invisible or worse, as something to be managed quietly with a doctor.
A medical problem, not a consumer opportunity.
Right. And Moran cites Peter Attia here, the longevity expert.
I know Attia. He doesn't mince words.
No, he doesn't. And Attia recently said that the medical treatment of menopause is the great failure of medicine over the last 50 years.
That is a heavy statement. Great failure.
It is. But for an entrepreneur, you have to look at that through a different lens.
Yeah.
A failure of the medical system is a massive opportunity for the private market. The demand is built in. Every woman will eventually go through this transition.
And the symptoms are life-altering.
They're not trivial. We're talking sleep disruption, weight gain, brain fog, anxiety, hot flashes. These aren't minor inconveniences. They degrade your quality of life.
And yet, when Moran looked at the market, he found it surprisingly empty.
Well, there are incumbents, right? He did mention brands like Amberen and Symphony.
Okay, so let's talk about them. What's wrong with what they're doing?
He did. But have you ever looked at Amberen on a shelf?
I have. It looks dusty. It looks like something my grandmother would hide in the back of a cabinet. It's medicinal.
Exactly. It looks medicinal, looks geriatric. The packaging is from like 1995. It doesn't scream aspirational or empowerment. It screams problem to be managed.
What about the other one, Symphony?
Symphony is a little better. The branding is cleaner, but it has very little market penetration. Very few reviews. It's just not making a dent. The bar's on the floor.
So this isn't about some breakthrough science.
Not at all. Moran's argument is that a young, hungry entrepreneur can dominate this space simply by caring more about the branding and the customer experience.
So you don't need to invent a new molecule. You just need to stop treating these women like patients and start treating them like consumers.
Correct. You create a brand that empowers, a brand that says this is a powerful transition, not a disease. You use the same slick, community-driven, aggressive marketing that Hims used for men.
With the clean design and the direct-to-consumer model.
Yes, all of that. But you apply it to menopause. It's the pink tax in reverse. Usually we complain that women pay more for pink razors. Here the argument is, this demographic has the money, they have the pain point, and they are begging for a premium solution that speaks to them with respect.
High pain point equals high willingness to pay.
Every single time. This is one of the fundamental laws of business.
All right, sticking with health but moving up the age bracket, let's talk about business idea number 3. Cognitive health and nootropics for seniors.
This is a fascinating pivot because for years, nootropics brain supplements were exclusively the domain of Silicon Valley.
Right, the limitless crowd, the 25-year-old crypto traders trying to work 18 hours a day and hack their dopamine.
Exactly. And that market is now saturated. Everyone is fighting for that same young biohacker. But the real market, the one with the tangible, scary, hair-on-fire problem, is the 50-plus crowd.
My parents' generation, the boomers.
And Gen X, now. They are facing actual cognitive decline, or at least the fear of it. Memory loss, lack of focus, lower energy. These aren't abstract concepts, they're daily realities.
And there's a new dynamic here that Moran points out, which I thought was so smart, the rise of late-in-life ADHD diagnoses.
It's a huge factor. I've seen this all over social media. People in their 50s, 60s realizing, oh, I'm not just scatterbrained, I'm not lazy, I've had untreated ADHD for 50 years.
Yeah.
Precisely. They missed the boat on early diagnosis, and now they're seeking solutions. They're finally understanding why they've struggled with focus their whole lives.
But here is the marketing challenge, and it's a big one. How do you sell brain pills to a 70-year-old without making them feel old?
Yeah, nobody wants to buy the dementia pill. That's depressing. You can't lead with the fear, even though the fear is the motivator.
So it's the angle.
Moran suggests a brilliant bank shot strategy here. You don't just market to the senior. You market to the children of the senior.
The sandwich generation. Us. The people in their 40s and 50s worried about their kids and their parents.
Exactly. You run ads on Facebook or Instagram with the hook. Is someone you know losing their memory? Or are you worried about your dad's focus? That hits an emotional nerve.
Oh, that's powerful.
It bypasses the senior's denial or pride and targets the adult child who has the credit card and the concern. It's a purchase made out of love and worry, which is a very strong driver.
Buy this for your dad so he can stay sharp. Or help mom remember the grandkids' names.
Precisely. And you back it all up with high-authority content. He mentions Dr. Daniel Amen, the brain scan guy from PBS.
Right, with the Speckstein gems.
Yeah. You don't have to be as clinical as him, but you use that kind of science-backed but accessible content to build trust. Blog posts, videos, explainers, and economically. Seniors have the most disposable income of any demographic. They will pay to protect their minds. It is the ultimate high-stakes purchase.
Okay, let's pivot from internal health to external appearance. Section 2 is all about the evolution of men's grooming. Now, I feel like this space is crowded. Every podcast I listen to is sponsored by a razor or a trimmer.
It is crowded, for sure, but we have to follow the big money. As Moran says, you look at the acquisitions. Unilever, one of the biggest conglomerates on Earth, bought Nutrafol, the hair growth supplement, for $1.2 billion.
Wow.
Then they bought Dr. Squatch for a rumored $1.5 billion.
Dr. Squatch is the soup company with the viral ads, right? The guy in the woods yelling about detergent.
That's the one. Stop using chemicals on your balls. That was the pitch.
It's blunt, but it worked.
It worked to the tune of $1.5 billion. It combined humor with a very clear, natural angle. It created an enemy, big soap, and their synthetic detergents.
Okay, so that's the playbook.
That's the playbook. And Moran's business idea number 2 is to take that exact playbook, the Dr. Squatch playbook, and apply it to a new vertical, natural fragrances and hair care for men.
So cologne, pomade.
Cologne, pomade, gels, you name it. Think about standard cologne. What is it?
It's alcohol and smells, chemical.
It's a chemical cocktail. Fill-outs, parabens, synthetic musks, things you can't even pronounce. And where do you spray it?
On your neck, your wrists.
Right over your thyroid, right near your brain. There's the marketing narrative.
The hook.
The hook is, why are you spraying industrial chemicals on your neck every morning?
Yeah.
It immediately reframes a luxury product as a potential health risk.
Oof. When you put it that way, it sounds terrible. It makes you second-guess your bottle of Acqua di Gio.
That's the point. It doesn't even have to be 100% scientifically perfect fear-mongering. It just has to be a compelling narrative that plants a seed of doubt. The story is, you are a man. You should smell like wood and spice and earth, not a chemical factory. You use natural ingredients like vanilla, cinnamon, cloves.
I'm trying to think. Is there a dominant natural cologne brand? I can't name one.
No. There are niche brands on Etsy. There are super high-end artisanal brands that cost $300 a bottle. But nobody has done the Dr. Squatch thing. Mass market, funny, aggressive educational marketing for cologne.
The door is wide open.
Completely open for someone to come in and own the natural scent category. He also mentioned hair care. He pointed to a brand called Johnny Slicks.
Johnny Slicks.
Yeah, they do natural pomades and hair products. They're doing okay, good volume, but they're not running the anti-chemical playbook hard enough. They're not educating their customers on why they should avoid the blue gel from the drugstore.
So the opportunity is in the marketing, not just the product.
It's almost entirely in the marketing, the story you tell.
It's basically the clean beauty movement that happened for women 5 years ago, but repackaged for dudes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you can't call it clean beauty. You have to call it raw. You have to call it primal. You have to use masculine language. Which leads us perfectly into business idea number 5, men's skincare.
Now, Moran had a pretty funny admission about this in the source material. He admitted he was part of the problem. He was the target market that was resistant.
He did. He was very candid. He said when he first noticed wrinkles, his gut reaction was, that's something chicks and gays do.
Which is a stereotype, obviously, but it's a very real hurdle for a massive chunk of the male population. That's the wall you have to get over.
It is the only hurdle that matters. The market is already $20 billion, projected to double by 2030. But that's mostly in the fashion-forward urban centers. To capture the mass market, the guys in the suburbs, you have to hurdle that stigma.
And you can't sell vitamin C collagen booster to a guy who thinks skincare is unmanly.
You'll lose them immediately. The language is wrong. So how do you sell it?
You change the language.
You change the language. You don't sell a beauty regime. You sell maintenance. You don't sell pampering. You sell armor. He highlighted a brand called Caldera Plus Lab as a case study.
I've seen their ads.
Very serious. The branding is fascinating. It's dark, it's sleek. It looks like it belongs in a tactical top kit, not on a vanity. And they don't sell anti-aging cream. They sell the base layer.
The base layer. I like that. It sounds like Under Armour for your face.
Exactly. It's about performance and protection, not beauty. And here is where Moran makes a specific prediction that I think is really interesting, and it ties into this. He believes the beard trend is ending.
Whoa, the lumberjack look is finally over. It's been a long run.
He argues that trends are pendulums. Beards have been dominant for 15 years. He predicts a swing back to the clean-shaven look. And think about the physics of that. What happens when you shave your beard?
You see your face? All of it.
You see your face. You see the sun damage. You see the wrinkles. You see the dry skin. Plus, shaving itself is irritating. It requires aftershave, moisturizer. A clean-shaven population drives the skincare market significantly more than a bearded one.
That makes total sense. If I'm hiding half my face, I don't care about my jawline. If I shave, suddenly I'm looking in the mirror a lot closer.
And that looking in the mirror leads to Moran's most controversial prediction. Are you ready for this one?
Lay it on me.
He predicts that in the next 10 to 20 years, men's makeup will become normalized.
Makeup, like concealer, foundation, like for real.
Correct. Now, he explicitly said he hates the idea personally. He finds it off-putting. He refuses to do it. But as an investor, he's not looking at his personal feelings. He's looking at the signal.
I mean, I'm skeptical. I just don't see the average guy putting on foundation before he goes to Home Depot.
Maybe not foundation.
Yeah.
But look at South Korea. It is completely standard there for men to use BB creams and tone correctors. Cultural trends in beauty often flow from east to west.
That's true.
And consider the zoom effect.
The zoo effect.
We are all staring at our own faces in high definition all day long. If you have a massive pimple before a big pitch, or dark circles because you're up with the baby, and there is a product that fixes it instantly and is invisible,
You might use it.
Moran bets that men will use it. They just won't call it makeup. They'll call it camouflage or spot corrector or redness neutralizer. The branding has to be masculine, problem-solution oriented.
So if you're building a skincare brand in 2026, you start with the moisturizer, the base layer, but maybe you keep the concealer in the R&D lab for a few years.
Exactly. You wait for the window to open. You build the trust first.
Fascinating. Okay, let's move to section 3. This is about innovation and delivery. This isn't just about what you sell, but how you sell it. Business idea number 4, supplement shots.
This is an economics play, pure and simple. We need to look at the history of form factors in supplements. First, we had pills. Pills are boring. They feel like medicine, a total chore. Then we had the Ollie revolution. Ollie took vitamins, turned them into gummies, and built a massive company.
Gummies were huge. Suddenly taking vitamins was like eating candy. My kids take them. I take them.
Right. It made it fun. But Moran says the next evolution is the liquid shot. Think 5-hour energy, but for everything else.
Okay, why shots? Is it just novelty? Is it that they absorb faster?
That's part of the marketing, sure, but it's mostly about margins. The economics are insane.
Oh, insane.
Moran brought up a brand called Z-Biotics. It's a genetically engineered probiotic you drink before alcohol to prevent a hangover. Do you know the price point?
I'm guessing $5, maybe $6.
It's roughly $12 per shot.
$12 for one tiny bottle of liquid. That's more than the beer I'm about to drink.
For a sip. But think about the context. The frame. You are going out with friends. You are about to drop $100 on cocktails and an Uber. Is $12 a lot of money to guarantee you don't lose your entire Sunday to a migraine?
Put that way. No, it's basically insurance. It's a rounding error on the night out.
Exactly. It's high perceived value in a specific moment of need. And because it's a technology, a sealed vial of liquid, it feels scientific customers accept a price point they would never, ever accept for a single pill.
So Z-Biotics has the hangover market. Where else can you go with this? What are the other opportunities?
Moran suggests pre-workout shots. Right now, gym culture is dominated by big, messy tubs of powder. You need a shaker bottle, water. It's a hassle. It clumps up.
Yeah, I hate that.
Imagine a gym vending machine stocked with high-end, pre-mixed pre-workout shots. You crack it, drink it, lift. The convenience factor alone is massive. You could charge $6-7 a shot.
He also mentioned digestive enzymes, which I thought was a sleeper hit. That's a boring category.
Huge sleeper hit. Okay. No one has innovated in digestive enzymes in years. Right now, they're sold in boring white bottles to old people with digestive issues. Imagine a sleek, discreet shot called the aftermath or post-meal or something.
Oh, the aftermath.
You finish a massive steak dinner or a huge bowl of pasta. You feel bloated and gross. You take the shot right at the table. It solves the problem instantly. It turns a medical supplement into a cool, convenient lifestyle accessory.
I love that. It's taking the boring and making it sexy through packaging and form factor. Okay, sticking with food and lifestyle, let's talk about business idea number 7, protein desserts.
The headline here, and you see this everywhere, is protein is the new diet.
It really is. We went through low fat in the 90s, low carb in the 2000s, then paleo, keto, vegan now. It feels like everyone just wants protein, high protein everything.
It's the dominant nutritional trend, and the technology, the food science, has finally caught up. We can now make high-protein foods that don't taste like chalk mixed with Splenda.
Thank goodness. I've eaten some protein bars that tasted like drywall. Just awful.
We all have. But look at brands like Legendary Foods. They make protein Pop-Tarts. They look and taste almost like the real thing, but with 20 grams of protein.
And Magic Spoon cereal.
And Magic Spoon. They make protein Fruit Loops. They are crushing it by taking a childhood favorite and making it healthy.
So the strategy is just copy junk food.
Specifically, copy nostalgic junk food. That's the key, Moran says. Go to the snack aisle of your grocery store. Look at the Little Debbie section. Cosmic brownies, zebra cakes, oatmeal creme pies.
Oh man, a protein oatmeal creme pie. I would buy a case of those right now.
See? That reaction is exactly why this works. Nostalgia is a powerful drug. If you can tell a 35-year-old, hey, remember this taste from your childhood lunchbox? Now you can eat it after the gym and get shredded. You have an absolute winner.
It feels like a cheat code for your diet.
It does. And Moran actually gave a specific tactical tip here. He mentioned a manufacturer in Chicago for people who aren't food scientists.
Right, for someone like me who has the idea but can't, make it in my kitchen.
He did. He shouted out, U-Bar! He says they have an R&D kitchen specifically designed for this. You don't need to be a food scientist. You can literally call them and say, I want to make a high-protein version of a Twinkie, and they will formulate it for you.
That is incredibly actionable. That removes a huge barrier to entry. You don't need a lab. You just need a brand and a story.
Precisely. The what is almost a solved problem.
Yeah.
You just need to focus on the who and the why.
All right, we are down to the final section. And I have to say, this one is the most cynical, but probably the most profitable. Section 4, the niche fear and detox market.
This is business idea number 6, and it relies on understanding that the era of the generic colon cleanse is over. That market is dead.
It's too broad, too late-night infomercial from the year 2000.
Exactly. The new market is specific detox for specific fears. We live in an age of high anxiety, and people are looking for explanations for why they don't feel good.
So what are people afraid of right now? What are the specific fears?
Well, the biggest one he mentioned is mold.
Mold is huge on TikTok right now. Mycotoxins.
It is massive. Mold toxicity is being blamed for everything. Chronic fatigue, brain fog, skin issues, you name it. Now, whether that is medically accurate in every case doesn't matter for the business model.
Right.
The point is, people believe it. They are self-diagnosing online. And the medical system often dismisses them, which pushes them to look for their own solutions.
So instead of a general detox, you sell the mold rescue kit.
Correct. You bundle binders like activated charcoal, supplements like glutathione ingredients that are known to support detoxification, and you brand it specifically for mold. The customer is already convinced they have the problem. You are just offering the specific name solution they're searching for.
He also mentioned the V, the one from a few years ago.
The medical procedure from 2020. We know the one.
Right.
There is a significant market segment of people who regret that procedure or are worried about long-term side effects. It's a real anxiety for millions of people. A detox protocol specifically marketed for that has a massive addressable market. It's catering to regret and anxiety.
It's intense, but I see the logic from a business perspective. He also listed things like fluoride, EMFs, Wi-Fi radiation.
A whole list of modern anxieties.
Wow.
And he even referenced the gay frogs thing.
Oh boy. Alex Jones. I can't believe that came up.
He did. But, and this is important, Moran wasn't getting political. He was analyzing the market like an anthropologist. His point was, There are millions of people who genuinely believe the water supply is full of chemicals that alter hormones.
Whether it's true or not, they believe
They
it.
believe it. So if you sell a water filtration system or a supplement kit specifically branded as anti-estrogenic or fluoride defense, you are speaking directly to their worldview and their deepest fears.
It goes back to the golden rule. Specific person plus specific problem, high margin. If I am terrified of fluoride, I will pay $50 for the specific solution. I won't pay $50 for a generic multivitamin.
The math is what makes this so compelling, especially for these niche fears. Moran broke it down. To have $1 million business, you only need to sell about 25 units a day at a $100 price point.
25 sales a day. That's it. That sounds almost too easy.
That's it. In the world of the internet, with billions of people online, finding 25 people a day who are terrified of mold is a rounding error. It is incredibly achievable if the messaging is laser-focused and speaks directly to that fear.
So let's bring this all together. We've covered a lot of ground here. We have menopause branding plays. We have natural, narrative-driven men's cologne and hair care.
Taking the Dr. Squatch playbook.
Senior cognitive support, but marketed to the kids.
The bank shot.
Supplement shots replacing pills with insane margins. Men's skincare, and eventually, maybe, makeup.
If you're brave.
Nostalgic protein snacking. And these super niche fear detoxes.
It's a diverse list, but the blueprint is the same for every single one. Identify a neglected or emerging demographic, find their specific high pain point problem.
And serve them a premium product with a great story.
That's the formula.
And Moran had one final piece of advice on timing. Why 2026? Why start now?
Because these windows close. He calls it planting the flag. Right now, there is no Dr. Squatch of cologne. But in 3 years, there will be. And once there is a dominant player spending $5 million a month on ads, the cost to enter that market becomes prohibitive.
You can't cross the moat they've built.
You can't.
Yeah.
You're priced out. You have to get in while the land is still up for grabs, while the customer acquisition cost is still manageable.
And he puts his money where his mouth is, right? He's not just talking.
He does. He explicitly said he invests in brands once they hit that $100,000 a month run rate.
Yeah.
So his incentive for sharing this list is literally to inspire someone to build the asset that he can eventually buy or invest in. He wants deal flow.
He's creating his own future opportunities. So listener, here is the challenge. Which of these makes you nod your head? Which of these problems have you seen in your own life?
Yeah, which one resonates?
Is it your aging parent struggling with their memory? Is it the weird chemical smell of your cologne? Is it the desire for a protein Twinkie that doesn't ruin your diet?
Pick one. Don't try to do all 7. Pick the one that you understand intuitively. Start with that person. Interview them. Find out what keeps them up at night. And then go build the solution. The opportunities are just sitting right there.
I found some gems in the comments of the original video.
Hit me.
The supportive one. Ryan's insight on the person-first approach changed my entire business model. Finally, someone talking about real brands.
The skeptical one. A $12 supplement shot. In this economy, most of us are just trying to afford eggs, Ryan.
And my favorite, the unhinged one. I've been waiting for a frog-safe detox protocol since 2020. My water filter is ready. Let's go.
So Lisa, what's the final verdict? Is this good advice, situational advice, or pure hustle hype?
I'd say it's situational advice for the 1%. If you already have capital and experience in e-commerce, these niches are gold mines. But for a total newbie, it's a bit of hustle hype, because it oversimplifies how hard it is to actually formulate and sell these products legally.
I agree. It's high-level strategy masked as easy-to-steal ideas. Great for inspiration, dangerous for the unprepared.
Let's bring this back to earth. This isn't for a beginner with $500. Ryan says he wants to invest once a brand hits $100,000 a month. To get to that level with high-end supplements or custom manufactured protein snacks, you need serious capital for R&D and inventory.
Exactly. If you're an employee looking for a side hustle, starting a natural cologne line sounds like a full-time job with a massive overhead. He mentions a manufacturer in Chicago, but not that expensive to a guy building 8-figure businesses is very different from not expensive to a normal person.
And hey, if you launch the post-V detox or the men's camouflage spot corrector, let us know. We might be doing a deep dive on your brand in 2026. And that's it for today's session at Hustle Happy Hour. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's ready to level up and build something big.
If you want more, check out our other videos where we deconstruct more guru gems and traps. And hey, if there's a video you want us to react to next, drop it in the comments below or send us a link. We're always looking for the next hustle to deconstruct.
Until next time, stay spicy, but keep the hustle real and keep the drinks cold. Cheers.
Hustle